this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. As discussed in the Sunday chat of the 6th of the 6th, one of my problem plants, it's a little Phalaenopsis that I've had a very long time and it won't grow. Its main issue is the markings on the leaves, and some of these are pitted. Now that has all the hallmarks of this mesophyll cell collapse, which is a consequence of a shock of hot to cold. Now that could have been nothing more than me throwing it in the Vander bucket to water it, and the Vander bucket was cold while the leaves on this plant were warm. Time of day thing, yeah. You know, if the grow room had got up to its higher temperatures, sort of 27-28 degrees, that's the temperature the plant would be. Well, the chances are the water wouldn't be anywhere near that warm, so it's a shock. It does cell damage. Non-recoverable, but it very rarely would kill the plant, which it hasn't done. So all I'm going to do with this, I've watered it because I want some bendy roots, so although I suspect we'll end up with some snapped roots. I'm going to put it in a pot, basically. It's had its go on a mount. The mount is breaking down, that's starting to rot, which means that's putting out tannins probably, which is not doing the root mass any good at all. So I'm just going to try it in a pot. Let's see if it will come off any scents first. I'm hoping it will lift off, because these roots aren't much good anyway. Yeah, it's just lifting off. We've got one actual growing root tip, which I bet I'm not going to be able to save that. It's already broken there. No, we're going to have to lose that, I'm afraid. So that's not going to leave it with any active roots, not really. That's got to come off. And it's damaged back to there, but it is an active root in as much as it should now branch out. That's the theory. Now all of these manky little things like this are coming off because they serve no purpose. They're really totally gone. That'll improve the look of it no end. Alright, so that doesn't leave us with much, does it? But these are active roots, so these are perfectly capable of branching. That's got a break in it. It's also got a little branch there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that back to there. Two reasons. One, there was a damaged point there. And two, it'll go in a pot easier now. I'm wondering whether... So what we've got is we've got a little basal growth there with that tiny little leaf. Got another basal growth there. And we've got a shoot coming out of the old flower spike. So this has got, in effect, 3 new growths near the base of the plant, all of which are capable of producing new roots, plus the existing roots could branch. So we have the ability on this to get some root mass going, because as it is there's next to nothing. I'm not quite sure. But, you know, I think I'm just going to pop this in the cocoa husk. Let's get some moisture around this. It's been starved of moisture being on a mount, and it's actively growing. You know, we've got new growths here, we've got the 3 basal growths in one shape or form, and a new leaf coming. So this needs feed and water now to get going. So I'll go and find a small pot and get some cocoa husk out. I haven't got any in soak, but I'll rely on the fact that it's going to get watered on consecutive days for a little while. That'll make sure that that soaks, so I'll be back. Right, I've managed to find a relatively shallow, quite wide pot. Yeah, as Phalaenopsis roots will go straight down if they've got a deep pot, but they always seem to be happier if they go round. They tend to branch more. So I put some chunky bark in the bottom, stop the holes blocking up. Oh. And now I'm just going to use the cocoa husk. And I'm not working out what sizes, it's going in as it comes out of the bag. And I mean, there's no potting to do on this really, it's just a matter of filling up the pot around the roots. There's only 3, so there's no need to worry about gaps between the roots because I can see them. So we'll just pile some of this in. That includes the fibrous bits as well as the lumps. It's just going in straight out the bag. No messing. And I'm bringing it right up the base of the plant. It's not going to be sticking out the top, it's going to be sat right in it. And the reason being, I want to encourage some root growth from the base of the plant. And that is root growth from the base of the plant in several places, because there's 3 basal growths plus the base of the mother plant. So we'll get some cocoa husk right up to the base, get some humidity and moisture and media right up to where those roots are going to come from. Let's get some small bits here. Just to go there. Right, no need to press down for Phalaenopsis, they're quite happy to have their roots relatively loose, but they do still like to get older stuff. Just got a top up here. Get up to, we don't want that big chunk right on the top, do we? Just make sure I am right up to where these basal growths are. So any root tips that start can go straight into media. Now this, when it's not in active growth, this will be not quite so easy to allow to dry out, but there's one thing, is the chances are that period will be in the winter, and although this is a grow room plant this time of year, when I've got the temperatures, come the winter time this may come into the house with the others, you know, the actual Phalaenopsis project orchids, store-bought Phalaenopsis, I think the playlist is called. I think we're heading up towards 20 videos in that playlist now. It follows the story of literally some store-bought Phalaenopsis, and they were the genuine thing. I deliberately didn't look at the plants. There was a sea of Phalaenopsis. This was in a do-it-yourself area, that's where their orchids are, in a garden centre sort of place. Not really a garden centre, it's a do-it-yourself store with a garden bit. The orchids are inside, and I just literally picked some what I thought were relatively attractive blooms sticking out the top, and that was it. I just picked them up and took them out and bought them. I didn't attempt to look at the roots, the plant or anything. It was pretty blooms must have. And I've done a whole playlist of following their, you know, from getting them home, getting them out of the pot, potting them up. They've been repotted since then. There's been updates on them, and it's just literally following, you know, that type of plant grown in the house. So as a project for me, I don't really want orchids in the house. I've got a grow room, but I thought I'd try some in the house, replicating how a lot of other people grow, because they haven't got a greenhouse or some sort of grow space like I've got. So that's what that's all about. This isn't going to join the project, but it may join their housing position in the winter when the old temperatures get down. Phalaenopsis don't like to get cold. They will go down to sort of 14-15 degrees, but it doesn't do them any good, quite honestly. Watch your species though. In amongst the species there are a couple of cooler growers. that are happy to have those sort of lower temperatures, well, they'll put up with them. But most Phalaenopsis are classed as warm growers, bare minimum of 18 at night, not daytime temperatures, nighttime. And daytime needs to go up a fair bit from there. So anyway, we'll see how this does in a pot. I'll find somewhere in the grow room to hide it. Otherwise people will think I grow Phalaenopsis, and I don't. I've got 2 mounted ones, well, 1 now because one's been taken off, and the 3 in the house. So those are the, oh no, I've got a little seedling, haven't I? That's a species as well, Violaceae. It's got 2 leaves on. It's a while from blooming. Anyway, thanks for dropping by. See you next time.